The United States has announced new sanction on Cuba's President Miguel Diaz-Canel and some of his immediate family alongside members of the Castro family. Among those targeted were the son and a grandson of former President Raul Castro, who no longer holds an official position but remains a key power broker on the island. President Miguel Diaz-Canel, his wife and stepson were also hit by the latest flurry of U.S. sanctions, as was the Ministry of the Revolutionary Armed Forces and several other entities. While Cuba has been under a U.S. trade embargo since 1962, President Donald Trump has drastically ramped up pressure in recent months, cutting off its fuel supplies and threatening to take over the island. Washington claims that Cuba's communist regime threatens the security of U.S. citizens. Last month, the U.S. government imposed sanctions on 11 Cuban officials, including the country's communications minister, several military leaders, and its main intelligence agency. The U.S. also charged Raul Castro with murder for his alleged involvement in 1996 incident in which Cuban jets shot down planes operated by a group of Cuban exiles. Trump told reporters that the U.S. wanted Cuba to be a nicely run country. Trump has repeatedly stated it could be next to fall after the January overthrow of Venezuela's socialist leader Nicolas Maduro and the U.S. campaign against Iran.
We have some very good plans for Cuba. I think, we have to get rid of the regime was very tough, very nasty. The difference is now they don't have money coming in. They had a lot of money coming in from Venezuela. They don't have any money coming. They had oil coming in. They had money coming in. But we're going to take care of Cuba.
Mr. President.
Meanwhile, the Cuban president criticized the behavior of the United States. In a social media post, he wrote, and I quote him here, "The aggressiveness and perversity of the Yankee government will clash with our decision to confront the worst scenarios and resist the imperialist onslaught," unquote. He added that the sanctions strengthen the blockade and scenario of conflict between Cuba and the United States. Meanwhile, Cuban citizens remain concerned.
All Cubans know, whether they are on one side or the other, that since the triumph of the revolution, we have been paying for things that the United States has done to us. This new sanction is one more. It is nothing different or distinct. And well, here we are.
On the other hand, as the situation becomes tense, reports say Asian Group International Archipelago, which came to operate 6 hotels on the island under the Aston brand, ended its operations in Cuba. Cuba will also suspend Visa and MasterCard transactions starting on Saturday, its central bank said. The bank cited sanctions imposed by the U.S. that in recent days have led a swath of foreign businesses to sever ties with the Caribbean island.